And growing up, uh, what I remember is my dad left Uganda in 1989 when I was about 4 years old. And my big brother was about six, my young sister was 2 years old, and my youngest brother was about 2 weeks old.
Mm.
And dad went to the States, the United States of America. And from what I understood, in my little mind, I thought he had abandoned us. What my mom told me, he went on a plane. And from just that age of 4 years old, I just got fascinated with airplanes. And for me, I thought every time I would see a plane fly over the Kampala skyline where we lived, I was just imagining myself sitting in the plane and looking down and just seeing what's happening on the ground and just going where my dad was. Because growing up, I felt for me that I needed a male figure in my life to just help me learn some of the things that a boy learns from a father.
Mm.
Yes, dad did well in sending money and he provided for us, but his physical presence wasn't there. And for me, that's what I miss the most. And because of that, I ended up getting in a lot of trouble. I got in trouble with my neighbors. I got in trouble with the police. I got in trouble at school. And it was just one thing. If it wasn't this, it was something else. And
Mm.
but through it all, my mom just wouldn't let me get out of school. We fought. She disciplined me. When we were growing up, actually, we used to call her Major.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if it's discipline time, you know you're in trouble. It's
Mm.
and because I mean, and I'm forever grateful because the job she did was really wonderful, and I feel like Abraham Lincoln when he said that all that I am and all that I ever ought to be, I owe to my mother. I mean, she stuck with us through and through, and she didn't give up on us. She didn't leave us, and but just all through this experience, for me, the thing that I just wanted the most was just to get on a plane and just go where my dad was.
Mm. Mm.
Because I just felt I just needed that male figure in my life. When we were
Yeah.
in school, because I was in boarding school from a very young age, and my schoolmates would say, yeah, uh, my mom and my dad visited, my mom and my dad visited, and all I could ever say was my mom visited. And they started asking me, what's up with your dad? Why doesn't he ever come to visit you? And that
Mm.
also just caused some feelings about it. And I was acting up as far as that was concerned. And then by the time I was around 12, I just knew for me that it was not a matter of if it would happen, but rather when it would happen.
Mm.
That I will travel. Because I was
Mm.
just thinking about it every day. We
Mm.
would be in the compound playing football, and they would put me in the goal in the just to be the goalkeeper because I just wasn't like a big fan of football, but because they were
Yeah.
playing in my compound, they just couldn't just play without me.
Yeah.
So they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's put him in the goal, and then playing passes, and then there I am daydreaming again. I'm just looking at the plane, and then the ball just comes and gets in the goal, and they're like, he's sleeping again. I'm like, guys, I'm not sleeping. Look at the plane; it's right there. And we used to
Yeah.
play these games like the first person who used to see the plane would be like, yeah, that's my plane, that's my plane, look at my plane. And so I
Mm.
was always into that mindset, and but it didn't happen for me. And then of course the I was expecting somehow that my dad would maybe send for us,
Yeah.
and he never did. And what I
Mm.
didn't understand is why he didn't,
Mm.
because in my young mind I just didn't make sense. I'm like, and later on I realized, okay, I have to figure this out my way. When I'm about 20, I get the first opportunity to go to the States. It was for a conference. I was excited. I was just fired up. I
Mm.
knew this is the opportunity I've been waiting for, and I prepared. Somebody helped me to arrange all the documents that I needed to apply for the visa, and I just was awake the whole night. In the morning, I went to the embassy to submit my application. When I submitted the application, the I mean, the person who's like doing the application, she looked at me and then she asked me a question. What's the purpose of your stay, going to the States? And I'm
Mm.
like, to go for
Yeah.
a conference. And in as if in one move, she's still looking at me. She picks up a stamp, stamps my passport, writes something on paper, ticks something, and then puts it back in my passport and hands it back to me. And she's like, next. I'm like, wait, is that it? So I'm like, because they had told me already, if you go to the embassy and they give you the visa, they will tell you to pick your passport later.
Mm.
I'm like,
Mm.
maybe she's made a mistake and just put it in right now. But I'm like, from the little knowledge I have, it's supposed to be a sticker and not a stamp. What is happening here? So I pick up all the papers and I'm like, I'm trying to explain. And she's like, next, just everything is in the papers. So I sit back down and I look at the papers and I check the stamp in the passport and it says application received.
Mm.
And then I check on the paper and there's all these reasons for visa rejection. And she has ticked one that I have not shown enough social or culture ties to prove that when I go to the States, I'll be coming back after the purpose of my stay. And I was like, she didn't even let me explain. So I was trying to go back to explain the situation. And she's like,
Yeah.
somebody else was already on the counter. And the
Mm.
security was like, think we should escort you out. And I was like, is this it? Is this the dream or the thing that I've been working and waiting for to happen for so long? And now it's just over like that.
Mm.
I got out of that embassy with my head down. I was like, I just couldn't believe what just happened. And because I was in a very, like, this is the thing I was looking forward to the most. When it didn't happen, I just got crushed at a very deep level. I
Yeah.
went into just, I just basically went home and dropped my papers and went to the bar. I soaked myself in alcohol. I just got drunk. The next morning, I woke up with a headache and I decided to just drink again. And a pattern formed. And I just didn't realize that I was just getting myself locked in a loop. And I felt it was easier for me to stay drunk than to have a hangover.
Yeah.
People were telling me, yeah, you have a drinking problem. I'm like, no, I'm just a social drinker.
Mm.
And it's just this just went on and on and on and on and on for almost 2 years. But at this point, I'm now walking with my passport every day. I had this my friends used to make fun of me. I had a backpack. I had my King James Bible in it.
Yeah.
I had my passport.
Mm.
I had a bottle of water. I had a t-shirt, my phone charger, and a pen. And
Mm-hmm.
I took that bag everywhere.
Yeah.
And my friends were just making fun of me. They say he's packed his bag, but he has nowhere to go.